Gun laws in the United States are always evolving, shaped by changing views on safety, individual rights, and the influence of court decisions. These laws reflect the ongoing national conversation about how best to balance personal freedom with public safety, and they often change in response to major events, shifting public opinion, or new legal interpretations. When these laws change, they impact not just gun owners but also businesses, law enforcement, and the general public. So staying informed is crucial for everyone. Whether you own a firearm, run a business, or simply want to understand your rights and responsibilities, knowing the latest rules helps you stay prepared and avoid legal trouble. Recently, a major shift has created a single, nationwide standard for carrying pistols, replacing the confusing patchwork of state laws that used to vary widely from one place to another. This change aims to make the rules clear and more predictable, no matter where you live or travel within the country. This new rule simplifies things for gun owners and law enforcement alike, but it also brings new responsibilities for everyone involved. Understanding exactly what's allowed and what isn't has never been more important. Understanding this change is essential, as it redefines the balance between gun rights and property rights across the country. It affects how property owners can set their own rules, and how gun owners must respect those boundaries. We'll break down what's changed, why it happened, and what it means for you. Whether you're a gun owner, a business operator, or just someone interested in how the law is evolving, the update is significant because it addresses a core American debate: the right to bear arms versus the right of property owners to control their spaces. This tension has shaped our laws for generations, and the new rule is a major step in how we resolve it. Previously, states had very different approaches. Some favored property owners, others gun carriers. This led to confusion, especially for people traveling between states or moving to a new area. Now, a unified rule sets a consistent answer for all 50 states, making it easier to know what's expected no matter where you are. This decision will affect daily life, from shopping trips and public events to business security policies and private property rules. Everyone will need to adjust to the new reality. Let's dive into the new pistol rules, explore the reasons behind these changes, and make sure you know exactly what you need to do to stay on the right side of the law. The new pistol rules establish a single, uniform standard for carrying handguns on private property open to the public, like shops, restaurants, and malls across all states. Previously, what was legal in one state could be illegal in another, causing confusion for gun owners. Now the default is simple. Firearms are not allowed unless the property owner gives clear, explicit permission. This opt-in model reverses the old system in many states, putting the decision firmly in the hands of property owners. The rule applies to both concealed and open carry, but doesn't change who can own a gun or background check requirements. This shift, driven by a Supreme Court decision, creates a new legal landscape for citizens and law enforcement alike. Everyone must now navigate this national standard. The new national pistol rule has its roots in a landmark Supreme Court case, Woolford v. Lopez. This case would go on to reshape how gun laws are interpreted across the country, especially when it comes to carrying firearms on private property. The story began in Hawaii, where lawmakers passed a regulation requiring people to get explicit permission before carrying a handgun onto private property that's open to the public, like stores, restaurants, or shopping centers. This law was unique, and it quickly drew national attention. Gun rights advocates challenged Hawaii's law, arguing that it infringed on the Second Amendment right to bear arms. They believed that such restrictions went too far, limiting lawful gun owners' ability to protect themselves in everyday places. The case followed the 2022 Bruin decision, which had affirmed a general right to carry firearms in public. However, Bruin left unresolved questions about whether states could restrict guns on private property that's open to the public, creating a legal gray area. The Supreme Court agreed to hear Woolford to clarify whether states could set a default ban on guns in private businesses, or if the Second Amendment required property owners to allow firearms unless they posted signs saying otherwise. In 2026, after months of arguments and national debate, the court upheld Hawaii's law. The justices ruled that the rights of property owners take precedence over the default right to carry on private land, even if that land is open to the public. This decision set a powerful national precedent. The Second Amendment does not override a property owner's right to control their own space. Business owners now have the final say on whether guns are allowed inside their establishments. As a result, the default across the country is now no guns in private businesses, unless the owner specifically opts in and allows firearms on their property. This marks a significant shift from previous interpretations of gun rights. The Supreme Court's ruling established the new national opt-in standard, requiring clear permission for firearms to be carried in private businesses. States and cities across the U.S. have since updated their laws to reflect this change. Today, this standard is the law in all 50 states, shaping how Americans exercise their rights and how businesses manage their spaces nationwide. The new rule is all about permission. If you want to carry a handgun into a private business, you need explicit approval from the owner. The clearest way is a sign at the entrance saying firearms are permitted. No sign, assume guns are not allowed. This is a major change. Before seen, nigh. Before, no sign often meant carrying was allowed. Now, it means the opposite. Permission can also be given verbally or in a written policy, but a visible sign is safest for everyone. Gun owners must check for permission before entering or risk legal consequences. The rule applies to both concealed and open carry. There's no distinction. Having a carry permit doesn't override the need for property owner approval. The core idea: respect the property owner's right to decide. This unified approach reduces confusion and makes the law clear nationwide. The opt-in rule applies only to private property open to the public, like stores, restaurants, and offices. On public property, parks, libraries, government buildings, the rules are different, and the right to carry is generally protected, subject to other laws. Mixed spaces can be tricky. A shopping center's walkways might be public, but the stores are private, so the rule can change as you move. Always be aware of whether you're on public or private ground. The Wolford decision didn't change restrictions on sensitive places like schools, polling places, or courthouses. Guns remain banned there. The new rule is for private commercial properties, not for these special locations or private homes. If in doubt, check for signs or ask the owner. The distinction between public and private is crucial for following the law. The new standard brings clarity, but you must stay alert to your surroundings. Know where you are and what rules apply. Let's break down how these new rules will play out in your daily life and what you need to know to stay on the right side of the law. Take Sarah, for example. She's a concealed carry permit holder in Texas. Now, before she enters any store, she has to actively look for a sign that specifically allows firearms. If there's no sign posted, she knows she can't bring her pistol inside and must leave it locked in her car. This small change means she's always on the lookout for permission, not just assuming she can carry. For families like the Millers, who love road tripping from Florida to Montana, the new opt-in rule brings peace of mind. They no longer have to spend hours researching every state's unique gun laws before crossing borders. The rule is now consistent everywhere. Unless a business posts a sign allowing guns, firearms stay out. Business owners like Maria now have a clear, simple choice. If she wants to allow guns in her shop, she just posts a sign. If she prefers her business to be gun-free, she does nothing, and the law backs her up by default. This clarity helps her feel more in control of her space. This new approach empowers business owners and makes enforcement much more straightforward for everyone involved, from staff to security. But there are risks for those who aren't paying attention or who haven't heard about the change. It's easy to get caught off guard if you're used to the old way of doing things. Tom, for instance, is used to the previous rules. He carries his pistol into a mall that doesn't have a sign, thinking it's allowed. When security discovers him, he faces unexpected legal trouble, even though he didn't mean to break the law. Even honest mistakes can have serious consequences: fines, loss of your permit, or even criminal charges in some cases. The stakes are higher now, so it's crucial to be aware. The new standard means everyone, gun owners, families, and business owners, must adapt their habits and stay informed. It's a shift in mindset for the whole community. Gun owners especially need to be proactive. That means checking the latest rules online, reviewing your permit, and making sure you're up to date before heading out. The law is now clear and straightforward, but following it is your responsibility. Ignorance is no longer an excuse, so stay alert, always look for permission, and make sure you're following the new rules, because being informed is the best way to protect yourself and others. Before Wolford, states had three main approaches: permissive carry, guns allowed unless banned by sign, signage models, signs banned guns, but default was permissive, and strict opt-in states, guns banned unless explicitly allowed. Most states let gun owners carry by default, unless a sign said otherwise. A few, like California and Hawaii, already required explicit permission. Wolford took the strictest model and made it national. Now, what was once legal by default is illegal unless allowed. This is a dramatic shift for most states, flipping the legal presumption. The new system creates uniformity and ends confusion at state borders. The opt-in approach is now the law for everyone. With the opt-in rule in place, education is the next step. Governments, law enforcement, and gun groups must inform the public to avoid confusion and legal trouble. Businesses will respond differently. Some will post signs welcoming firearms, others will remain gun-free by default. Legal challenges will continue, especially over gray areas like mixed-use spaces or sensitive places. For now, the rule is simple. No sign means no firearm. The responsibility is on you to look for explicit permission before carrying into a private business. The Wolford decision replaces the old patchwork with a single standard. It's a big change, but it brings clarity. Stay informed, respect property rights, and you'll navigate the new era of gun regulation safely.